like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing!
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Wow.
Can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another round of ORL, and we are here at Italy at the Temple of Speed in Monza, and of course I'm together in the Discord with Complacency for the second to last race of the season.
Yeah, it's winding down now, but should get a good race today. I think Monza's always a fun one. I really like it. I think a lot of the drivers like this track. It's kind of one of those. It's easy to learn, but difficult to master. There's a lot of little nuances to each corner. It'll be fun to see who's kind of got it all figured out today. After we had a really exciting one last week, so we'll see if they can match that or at least come close to it. It'll be difficult to do.
Yeah, exactly. Of all those three chunks of chicanes, where you basically have to hit one exact line that is the quickest way of going through those three corners each, and yeah, those are really tricky because, well, you have to really, for the most of them, you have to really brake really early and have to get your braking point exactly right, because, well, especially into turn one or and into the Ascari chicanes. I mean, there's the braking point not that far away, but you have to have the exact right speed as you enter it to get the maximum speed at the end, coming down to Parabolica. And well, if you just entered with less speed, you're just going to waste time. If you enter with too much speed, you are probably going to spin out over the curbs, or, well, just ride that far away from the racing line that you have to brake mid-corner.
Yeah, there's a lot of tricky sections. I always struggle with the second chicane. I think it's turns 3 and 4 with that gravel right on the outside. It's really easy in a couple places, even like Lesmos 2. When you come through there, you can take a lot of the curb. You can just get all over it, but for one, it's pretty easy for for track limits to kind of rear its ugly head, and also if you go a little bit too far, you'll find yourself in the gravel, and that can cost you so much time going down that extra long straight up to the next chicane there. So looks like Chris is coming around, might be the first one to start a timed lap. He's putting one in, but I saw him warming his tires, so.
And John DNF, so I guess I think he was retiring the pits last time, so I think he got a quali ban, because I see no other reason retiring so early.
Yes.
Exactly, so I think we've got somebody in the field who is going to charge through today, so that's going to be very interesting, especially at the start.
Yeah, plenty of room for overtakes here, so I mean that'll be fun to watch.
Exactly.
Already into the low 118s, so maybe we'll get into the 117s. Well, okay, there you go. Iker Bena and the Ferrari already a 118.077. So I think with a little bit of track evolution, we'll might get into the mid 117s even with some of the faster drivers. We'll see.
Cry6 goes third fastest, and there we go. First sub 118 from 1 second. So slowly getting into the pace. Of course, that's just the first lap. That's the one you got to start off with. that's the time you want to improve. And basically, on this first lap, you don't have a delta, so you don't really know whether you're really good or really bad. And in the next few laps, you've got your delta. You know in which corners you were just a few thousandths of a second better than the lap before, but also where you went a bit wide or where you took a bit of a wrong line. And yeah, that's then helping you to improve lap over lap over lap, and that's also how professional drivers also in real life keep their pace up. They just watch their delta to know whether they did a little thing wrong there.
Yeah, it can help you kind of compare. Like maybe you go in, you check it maybe on the entry, see how much time you made up. On the exit, you can watch it going down the straights and see if maybe maximizing the exit in a particular corner, the way you hit it was better there. So yeah, delta's super helpful. Also for managing your tires. You know, if you need to maybe slow down, you know, okay, well I'm 6/10 or 7/10 faster than the guy behind me, so I can pull it back just a little bit and kind of manage things. So it's like Crucix rejoined, maybe having some connection issues.
Probably yes, but as long as he rejoined, everything should be fine. At the moment, a lot of guys went into the pits now. We've got, for example, Oxygen. I think he's the only one in hot lap right now. No, Gable 1 just started one as well. So a few old laps, but 2 hot laps at the moment. I mean, we have the first third of the qualifying basically done. First laps are in, and now it gets a bit calmer. The guys are, of course, choosing the new tire, the second of the 3 soft they've got, and we're running out again, and looking to improve their time.
I think I'm just going to ride on board here with Gable 1. He's coming around Lesmos 1 right now. He had a kind of a bit of a moment in turn 1. Oh, he might have invalidated his lap there. Map up, but I think he ran a bit wide. Took a lot of curb in turn 1, and it started to spin the car in, but I think it kind of worked out for him. It might have actually given him some extra time the way he caught it.
So Lason's not invalidated, and let's see what he gets when he gets around. Braking into Parabolica, of course. A very, very weird turn, Parabolica. And coming to the line here, taking the most right path you can. It's 180.2, so not bad, but still room to improve. You're talking about the Parabolica, it's a really weird turn for normal cornering, because the apex is so early, and then you go basically up to full throttle again and just drive to the outside of the corner. And yeah, it's just something really unusual basically, because every corner is just in apex and out. That's it. But there's so much more to this corner.
Yeah, it's a weird one. The exit is kind of tricky. Well, it seems like you get on the throttle and you think you've got it just right, but it's really easy to kind of like misjudge it a little bit and run a little wide. And if you do, then the camber flips, and then you're leaning to the outside of the corner, and the inside tires come off. It gets to be a pretty bad situation pretty quick. I think, what was it, a year or two ago, I think 2 years ago in the F2 race, or was it the F3 race? Driver ran wide there, and they had those huge curbs, and just full send directly into the fence. I think he was all right, but that was a pretty crazy crash there
for a Red Bull there. Yeah, I mean, we've seen it with Leclerc the last season. Oh, that was a full-on cut from Icabena. But we've seen it with Leclerc that you can just basically, if you take the wrong line and you're too early on the pedal again, and the turn just goes right, and your car just goes straight over to the gravel and into the wall, if you don't have the grip anymore.
So we've got Crucix. We got, well, 3 drivers really yet to set a lap time. Christian Sindel, Joshua Kazani, and Crucix. We know Crucix is usually pretty fast. He's coming out of Lesmos 2 now, so we'll see what he can put together here. The other two, Sindel and Kazani, are on outlaps. Looks like Kazani just started his, and he might have got a bit of a benefit from, looks like he had a Williams in front of him, so he might have got a bit of a tow there. And that is going to be really crucial. We saw the professional drivers back themselves up, and a lot of them not even get, to start a lap time. I think it was 2 years ago.
Yes.
So try to avoid that situation. I don't think they'll be waiting quite as long. Spruce splits in a 1:18.165, really tight at the top. So 1 second, who actually improved his time, now 1 and 2 for the racing points. So, and so close together, 5,000ths of a second separate first and second. And then really, I mean, it's tight all the way back to, well, really, I mean, the whole field, but all the way back to probably like top 10, top 11, all the way down to Gebelwan with a 1:18.295.
Yep. They're all
Pretty
close
typical
together.
from these guys.
Then afterwards, we've got a bigger gap to Oxygen, but Joshua comes round the final bend, and it's just enough for 12 with a 18.4. So the rest of them, I see him having a bit of movement out of Lesmo too, and yeah, well, he gets another try on those. You see them both. I think the Williams also on a cool down lap. I'm not sure about the American front. But let's see who else we got on the track. I think most of the guys are doing cool down laps, except for Christian Sendit.
Yeah.
I think he's called Sendel actually, because I think he raced last week once in some race. I think in a.
I do like Send It though. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's better. I think we'll just go with that.
He
Send It.
should have the McLaren for the Sended hashtag.
Yeah.
And yeah, exactly. Taking his first qualifying lap to the finish line, going wide there, of course, and then down to the line. It is a 1:17.8, so up in fourth. Somebody new, maybe, looking to take a podium immediately into his first race. Well, we'll let us surprise. We know a bit about the pace of all the other drivers, but of course, the new drivers are always mixing it up a bit, as in real life. Well, you always know how the F2 drivers drive in F2, but the jump to F1 is always a bit different. The cars feel a lot different, really, and we'll just wait and see what the race will bring us, and especially what the first turns will bring us in the race, because that's usually carnage.
Especially with everybody so close. I mean, position is going to be really key here, and I mean with the DRS train, it'll be interesting to see what happens. See if anybody's running, maybe more or less wing, because there are, like for a Ascari chicane, you really need some amount of wing. You can't just take it all off. But I know a lot of drivers will do that and just, whatever. I'll just accept it. We'll just, be a little bit easier. Just take it easy through there, get through it, and maybe make up the speed everywhere else, or make up the time everywhere else. But so we got several drivers, top 7 now, actually in the 1:17s. Iker Bena, so the Ferrari goes back up on top in front of 1 second, and Leonard. Ooh. And there's Chris with a 1:17.712. The time's still falling as we have 3.5 minutes left, at least on our end.
Chris really topping the standings here, and well, he's quite a bit ahead of everyone else. Bena, 1 second, Leonard are all really close together there on the scoreboard, and yeah, but as you said, it's really tight up until 13th, basically. Well, the times just basically climbed in tenths. There's no big difference between most of the laps. But let's see.
I'm wondering if maybe Let's see. So maybe Nicholas, who's a little lower. It'd be interesting to see if anybody kind of uses some teamwork. I know there's no constructors, championship, but the toe is worth, like, I mean, even just on one straightaway, it's worth a couple of tenths, surely. And that could put you from, 7th up to 1st. So that's really valuable here. You can get 4 or 5 positions just if you can manage to get just the start-finish straight. Just toe down the start-finish straight to start your lap. Or maybe somewhere on the back end.
Yeah, that really helps, and that also helps for overtaking even without DRS. Yeah, you can really make use of the power or of the speed you have into the next turn. But of course you have to be careful as well, because you have to brake a little bit earlier, even though it's just a few meters. If you're really on the limit of what is possible, then you have to be really careful to not just shoot over the turn and completely miss the braking point then. So let's see a lot of cars in there again in the pits. I've got Oxygen again on an outlap, setting a purple sector number 1. And Polyakov. 1 second Svetkov are also in probably hot laps. And yeah, the rest of the grid is currently getting out. I think the guys who are getting out now probably won't have enough time to get in a lap in.
I know they frown on just yeeting through the chicanes. I'm pretty sure that's frowned on here. So
it's normally not sure of how they handle it here, but normally that's not really. Leagues don't really like that, and probably so normally the leagues give penalties for that afterwards, because, well, that's not. You should always keep an eye on the track limits, not only in the race, also in qualifying and also in your outlap.
Now Nicholas is also coming around on an outlap, and he is behind Iker Bana, his teammate. And Bana actually let a Red Bull through. He let somebody through, so I think he's planning on maybe giving him an assist here.
Yes, probably. They're pretty much lining up for it. And you can see just how they maximize the exit out of Parabolica, because it was no way that somebody would do that in the race, and to go that way into Parabolica, because it was intentional to get the maximum speed on the exit and completely waste your entry. Racing point there on the side. From 1 second, I guess. Not sure what happened there, if he crashed or what exactly it was. I think Alberola just shot himself up to second, yeah, in the Mercedes.
Great time there. Still on board with Nicholas. Bana's a little far ahead. I don't know if he's really going to get much of a tow from him. So I don't know if he's trying to set a hot lap, and Nicholas is slower, so yeah, if he falls back too much, I think he might have wanted to start a little bit closer to his teammate. He kind of let him go. If it was me, and I know I'm not quite at the pace of my teammate, I'm definitely just sticking to their bumper and trying to get as much of the tow here as I can. Because I think that in this game, it's not too bad through the corners behind another car. It's certainly better than it really would be.
Yeah, and that's always the funny thing. The dirty air, just, you think on the straight you barely notice it because you're just gaining through slipstream, through the toe. But into the corners you suddenly notice, well, I've got no grip at all.
Yeah, especially under braking. Now that is the thing, when you get right up on the bumper, that's what we see a lot of in turn 1, is people kind of out braking themselves when they lose all that aero on their front wing. So
yep.
Christian Sendit has sent it to the top spot on the grid here. 1:17.614.
I was just about to say that Chris. Somebody wrote in the chat that this is Chris' first race with a new setup, new brake pedal, and seat. So pretty good for him to finish second in the qualifying there. But
Yeah,
Christian
that's good.
Stendet, the new guy, setting a pole for the pole lap is pretty impressive.
Of course, we know Jan's going to be trying to do everything he can to claw his way back up from the back. If he gets lucky, maybe with a safety car, it's, anything's possible here. But there we go. So Christian Sindel on the top spot with SHZ Chris and his new setup on the rounding out the top row. Then we got Alberola, Krizix for third and fourth, fifth Iker Bena, sixth SHZ Yari, seventh 1 second, eighth Leonard, ninth Vadim Svetkov, and 10th Joshua Kazani rounding out the top 10 points positions, and only 0.273 separating the top 10.
That's just insane. But yeah, we'll see us for the race, and we'll see how the drivers will actually perform then. So there we are again, ladies and gentlemen. We are back at the track, and as you can see, the drivers have lined up and are already starting their formation lap and talking about tires. The top 10, of course, on their softs from the qualifying, and then we've got a lot of medium starters. And yeah, still 4 people decided to go for the softs either way on the back of the grid. For example, Jan, who is probably trying just to get as many positions until the first pit stop as possible. And yeah, exactly. And it's going to be a really interesting turn 1.
Yeah, everybody's close together. They've seen that, so they know, hey, if I can make up a few positions at the start, I have the pace to maybe hold them off, especially if we get in a DRS train. As long as you don't lose the guy in front of you, you should be safe. So we'll see if we have one group. Usually we have someone somewhere who gets a little bit separated. Once you get out of that train, it's hard to kind of make your way back and reconnect with it.
Exactly, and I hope there's not going. Oh, somebody already off track back there, or is it just? Is it lagging a bit? I hope not. But yeah, I hope there's not going to be a big crash into turn 1 and not an immediate safety car, because that's always a bit boring for the starts, and it would be very, very cool if everyone would get through turn 1 kind of safe. But yeah, here we see the predicted pit stop strategy, soft to medium basically, yeah. Or medium to soft, of course, the reverse one. But we are here lining up for the start for the Italian Grand Prix, and we're for sure looking at the lights in a few seconds. There we go. I can't see, I think, there we go. 5 lights. And it's lights out. And away they go, there we go, for the Italian Grand Prix. And well, it looks like Christian closed that up in front, and Chris is right at his back right there. Behind Crysis is already trying to attack George Alberola into the first turn, trying to get round the outside pass, as well as Jari and Iker beautiful racing through the first turn. I think we've not got many incidents, and just a lot side-by-side action. and everyone, of course, trying to compete against the one he's standing alongside on the grid. And there, the McLaren of Jari trying to the overtake onto Cry 6 here around the outside, catching the gravel, still behind, still trying. But the Alfa Romeo of Aika, of course, wants to get past there as well. A little bit of a moment, and it kind of looks like Jari's losing that place exactly right now.
Looks like Nick picked up some damage in turn 1. I saw from the back. I was riding on board with Jan in last place, and you could see a bit of a bit of wing, a bit of body. It looked like a bit of front wing fly through the air to the left. Looks like it's Nicholas who dropped down 6 places. A couple people kind of made up or took advantage of that. Through 6 and flash. Jan now looking to make his way past the Renault of Flo.
Oh, and a really wide line from Joshua, and he loses a position there to 1 second. Don't think that was intended. It shouldn't be. But maybe he had a better exit, but I don't think so. Doesn't really look like. Look at a battle into turn number 1. We've got a lot of them, I think. Jari as well fighting with Leonard. No, Jari seems to have problems, I have to say. It's basically just falling back.
With 1 second, looking to make his way around. Ooh, no, he dropped down. Just a big jumbled mess up there ahead. Jan's now found himself up in 15th as Dyslexic and Nicholas both pit. I think they're still there, so it looks like those are the two that they ran into each other. They each just had their own incident. So trying to make his way through all these medium runners. He's much faster through the corners, so it shouldn't be long, and then he's going to have to put in the real work before anything gets stretched out.
Exactly, and Zvekov is on a hunt here. Next one up is Jari after fighting through the 2 racing points now. He's trying to catch up to Jari and get through. The front row looks pretty stable, I have to say. First top 5, basically. Battling stopped. Christian and Chris, basically, they slotted behind each other after the start, and that's it for now. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of battling behind. Svetkov not going for the move into turn 1. Jan now up into 13th, and the first time penalty of the race with a 3-second full flow.
Yeah, looks like we hopefully won't get as many as we did last week, where every single person picked up at least 1 penalty. Several people, struggling with the conditions there, but nice and sunny today. We've got a few fast drivers trying to cut their way through the field. It looks like Jari is still struggling, like you said. He's falling further into the clutches of Svetkov, and now he's outside of that 1 second DRS range. Jan, meanwhile, up into 13th already, looking to take his teammate on Gabelwan, so see if he gets out of the way or maybe elbows out, don't let his teammate by. Looks like, Kazani ran real wide. He's in the gravel.
Oh, and
all the way to the back, and he's just retired from the session. That is probably going to be a bit of a reprimand for him. Car pulls over, is off the track, so it should be safe.
not sure what that was about. He retired himself, didn't he? Oh,
He did retire himself.
A massive slipstream battle between the 2 Racing Point and the Red Bull of Svetkov. You can really see the advantage you've got with DRS and slipstream on down to the main straight, and often if you're the third guy who's trying to enter the battle, you don't really know where to go because you have to slot behind one of the 2 cars, and well, it can be that you don't gain a place at all, even though you would like to, but yeah, of course the 2 battling in front, they have the space, and you just have to look where you can move with them without going 3 wide, because that's not possible into the first turn.
And you know that the middle driver is going to be trying to leave their move as late as possible to cover him off. Jan still finally making a move down around Scar Chicane, gets around his teammate who is running those mediums. I feel like Devlin probably could have got out of the way a little sooner. held up his teammate for a little bit, but now at 11. Jan's looking to track down Krusix for that last points position already. We're only starting lap 5 just now, but Sindel still at the front, though that gap is it's small, and we know Alvarola has also been fast, so this top 3, I think we're going to get some fighting for the lead here pretty soon.
And there goes the points for John. Up into the top 10. 10 places in 5 laps. That's a good average.
Was on a mission today. This is a good drive from him. I don't know that he's really bothered. Maybe he can just start from the back whenever he wants. Maybe just try to make it interesting for himself. Who knows? But yeah, still tied at the top. Svetkov is, let's see, he's through and yeah, past Yari. Can now start trying to catch the DRS train of the leaders. Possibly get himself in that battle for first, because really that battle for first goes, it's the top 3, maybe even 4 or 5. They're close enough together. One mistake will put you to the back of that group. Big slide. There's chicane for Svetkov, riding those curbs, just drifting it through, carrying as much speed as he possibly can. Further back, Chan now half a second behind, 1 second, so he's going to be fighting for fighting the racing points here any minute. He puts in the fastest lap at 1:21.562. So showing everybody, hey, I'm still here, I got pace.
That kind of looked like George was spinning around there, but he used that stepping out. He used the rear end stepping out for his turning there. Catching a little. I think some of them is doing that a lot, catching the gravel there on the left side. Soon there's no gravel left. They all put it onto the track. Let's see, for the back move, watch John from the next overtake. He's currently preparing to get past 1 second here with the help of DRS maybe, but 1 second got it as well, so it's going to be a mission to get past there.
He's just going to hold off for now, wait for maybe the start finish straight where he's got a little bit longer in a real deep braking zone. So we might try it here just so we can try to get 2 moves done. No, he's just going to wait. Patience. Patience is key, especially when you're trying to fight from all the way in the very back. Svetkov really struggling. He's now 2.5 seconds, so that's the first break in the DRS train.
Does John go down the outside? No, because just in the last second, the 1 second doesn't decide to go defensive there. Was a bit crucial in the end. Whether they hit, but they avoided each other perfectly. We've got no incident, both of them, but there goes John looking to the inside line. No, not yet. Tires out.
Really getting bottled up here. He doesn't have that tire advantage anymore, and 1 second has the DRS. But he runs wide.
Did they touch? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I didn't really see.
I don't think they touched. It was the camera pretty switched to the T cam, and it didn't look like they touched. I think Leonard might have just run a little, or sorry, 1 second might have run just a little wide, which is pretty easy to do there. And Jen says, thank you very much, I'll take that.
Josh retired because he got disconnects. So, not a retirement out of an incident or anything, it's just technical problems, technical issues. And here goes Leonard on this right up the tail of Jari, going down the inside. Jari going defensive, and nowhere making him. Oh, Jari spins it out there and hits Leonard there.
Oh, and Jan just sneaks through, finds him. He's in 6th now.
Oh my god!
So that was just a miracle for him. He's made up 14 places now, free to go catch Svetkov. And then make his way up to try to fight for the lead.
Wait. Oh, shit, I hit the wrong button. No. What's happening up front?
Looks like Alvarola kind of got a little squirrely. He's back in the grass now.
He dropped back. And Cry6 is up into second. Well, Chris stays in third. I think Alvarola just made a mistake, and thus everyone slotted a place up. So as you said before, just the tiny mistake and you drop out of that front group, and it's basically it's going to be really hard to come back up there, because you have to drive a quicker pace because Zvetkov is out of the DRS window, and those three guys are just giving it each other in the slipstream.
And we got both the Williams trying to track down Christensen in the Ferrari. I don't know if he'll be able to make a move. Maybe. Looks like he's coming up. He's got the DRS help. He's going to make a lunge. No, he just stays behind for now. But he's going to need to make something happen. He definitely wants to get around and let his teammate go to work. Maybe they can start. If they can both get ahead, then maybe they can start slingshotting around each other. Maybe work together to put a little gap between the rest of them and the rest of the field. Dave Gaming picks himself up a penalty.
Exactly. And the front is really close together now. They had a bit of a gap at the beginning. I mean, Christian is still leading the race very comfortably.
He's gonna need to get a move on soon. Jan is already making a move. Here he goes. Nice, easy around with DRS help around Svetkov. He's up into P4, 16 places on lap 9. Svetkov's going to try to use that DRS to make up a little bit of time, but I don't think he's going to be able to stay with him for long.
I mean, Jan got now past Zvetkov, and therefore Jan is, of course, although no, there was no overtake. Cry6 is just heading into the pits for the new set of tyres, a bit earlier than the game predicts it, and probably
trying to cover off somebody or maybe undercut his teammate.
Yeah, exactly, or undercut Christian, of course.
Oh no, that's right. He was the front Williams. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. So he undercuts Christian. I mean, in theory,
So let's see, we have a few drivers who have managed to take advantage of a lot of the chaos. We have Jan, who's now in the podium positions. Oh
no, but what happened to Chris? Oh, the Friscari's somewhere. Oh, in the left side he's in the wall. Safety car, there we go, and that's going to put Christian in the best position he was ever in. He just
enters the pit lane. Jan's coming into the pits right behind him. Jan was coming around. Now Jan is in P2, coming into the pits behind the race leader for fresh tires that can go to the end. I think Jan might be able to actually win this race.
It's going to be a battle between Christian and Jan, and it is everything up for grab. Because that was just a perfect pit stop for Jan. Everything worked out for him so far. And I mean, it's not a big problem for Christian either. I mean, he's now in 4th. Jan has Cry6 between him and Christian. So, yeah, not a big problem. I mean, Cry6 is a quick guy. He will be fighting for the top place as well. It's just that those guys now, of course, have to fight past the 3 medium runners who are still out on track, waiting for their pits window to open. And they will basically block everyone into the first turn because, well, after just a few laps, they are going to be further back because, well, Iker, Christian, Cry6 and Jan all have better tires, and yeah, therefore that'll be interesting how they get past them.
So 3 retirements. Chris and Yari both, not really sure exactly what happened. Chris ended up in the wall as Scary, and Yari, still not sure what happened to him, but Kasani also DNF from just disconnect. And then, like you said, everybody stopped except for Crucix, Gabon, and Flo. Only a handful of penalties. Flo, one of them. Polyakov, 1 second. Oxygen, Dyslexic, and Dave.
You've got one player is on the hard tire actually. Not really sure why, because you can make it to the end with the mediums.
Did he maybe do to stop a little earlier? I didn't think he did.
No, his hards are 0 laps old, as well as Oxygen's and Dave's.
Oh, yeah.
At least that's what the telemetry is saying. We know that sometimes it's just wrong what is written there, but as far as I know, they're all just stopped onto the hard tires, which might be the wrong strat.
Might be. I think the game usually gives you a pretty conservative estimate.
Yeah. And if
maybe was Polyakov, did he maybe start on the mediums and maybe he just pit early and he couldn't put on mediums again?
That is a possibility, yes. That would make sense. Because the softs are probably not going to make it until the end. Just switch the car for once. Got the annoying little rev bug. So there they go. The full last guys are closing in into the safety car train, and then we will be going for the next lap, because that will be a way too short time for the drivers to react for the safety car coming in.
Looks like we got someone going into the pits a little late here. Flo decided. That's unfortunate. That's always a really bad feeling when you're driving and, you know, the safety car comes out and you think you're all right, oh, I'm just going to stay out, you know, but then you realize, no, okay, I have to come in and have to change your mind because you know you just lost a lot of time going slow for a whole lap.
No, I guess he did it on purpose, because he's putting down the soft tire now and trying to get them to the end, which might even be possible.
One extra lap.
I mean, under the safety car, of course, the tires aren't really used much, but of course, the less time you get on those tires, the better. And he had to pit anyway, and he would probably came out last anyway as well.
Yeah. I think as long as he'll be fine as long as he catches the back of the pack. And I think, yeah, okay, they're right here. So as long as you catch the back of the pack, it doesn't make a difference. But I don't know, I thought that would take a little longer than it did. But okay, yeah, he's slotted in nicely now, so probably didn't make too much of a difference.
No, was probably is more of convenience. I mean, he has to be. There we go, safety car in. He has to be a bit more careful now with the tires, but I think he can definitely make it. So let's see what the difference in those tires actually is. The top two guys restarting on some older ones, cruising, leading it away through Parabolica. We got already, the game shows us an overtake, which doesn't really sound logical, but here we go. And let's see whether the advantage immediately plays out. There's Ikabina alongside Gelbewand and closing into Crucix. So that was probably a very easy overtake. Also, Jan is immediately past Crucix and already tangling with Christian Sendit through the first turn, not quite getting past. Got a little bit of action going on in the background. I think yours was just trying to overtake Polyakov there. And there goes Ika for the lead of the race. And he is probably, yeah, he is able to finish on this set of tires. So if he can hold it, would be a nice win. But of course, further back are Christian and Jan, who are both on the better set of tires, just waiting for their time to get onto the podium and finally getting that victory.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing all right now. He's got the pace now, but we'll see. That'll probably change a little bit when the DRS gets thrown in. I don't think any one of these guys really has the pace to just pull away from the pack when they get in front. So it might be pretty stressful just back and forth all the way to the end now.
But you can see Christian going on it for on together one, and just the amount of speed he has compared to together one in the Haas there. That was an easy overtake at the beginning of the straight, but together one getting a bit of the toe himself now. But it's not enough. It's also just the tires. The exit, of course, from Christian was way better, and yeah, you slowly start to see the one struggling a bit on those tires. Of course, those tires have still a few laps in them, but slowly you should think about pitting, even though the safety cut just ended.
Baina's already almost out of DRS.
What happened to
range.
Polyakov? He's out into the second chicane.
Oh, and he took 1 second with him. 1 second also into the wall. I think maybe they made contact
Flash
with each
as
other.
well. Flash spun out somehow as well.
Iker Baina has now got himself, that's 1.08, 1.1, so he is out of DRS range. If he can just hang on to that and keep that gap till he goes over the detection zone and DRS opens up, that's going to help a lot. Now, Christian Sindel and Jan can maybe use DRS slingshotting around each other to catch up, but Krusix is going to want to pick up the pace here.
Yeah, but they're probably both fighting, of course, for positions. I'm not sure if they're going to do that, and they still need to get past Krusix. Even though, Christian now gets a crucial 3-second time penalty. Even though Krusix doesn't really matter because he has to pit anyway, and well, they both did, so they can just wait, but they would lose a lot of time.
Yeah, I think Jan can afford to wait now. Christian really needs to get on it.
I have to say, we've got a big train up here behind Oxygen. Dyslexic pretty close, Svetkov pretty close, and Leonard right at the back, and then we've got Nicholas and Flo right behind him. So pretty stable midfield, and there goes Dyslexic trying it around the inside into Ascari, and there he goes past Oxygen for now. And up front, probably Christian is now able to do the overtake onto Krusix with DRS being enabled, and now I guess.
Yeah, nice, easy
it was a real
overtake there. Gets it done even before the DRS, and then Jan makes his way up right behind him, so should have our 3 front runners actually up in front of the traffic, as it were, and actually fighting for the lead soon.
And Krusix is now up as well past Gelb 1, so he's trying to get a podium as well, I think. But of course, he has to get past Ike as well. And I don't think he will get really past Jan or Christian, because they're just superb with the race pace, and it's basically going to be a battle between those two as soon as they catch up to Ica and get past, and they still have about 10-11 laps to do so.
Jan just waiting, biding his time behind Krusix, just breathing down his back of his neck there. Let's see, I don't know. Is he gonna make a move? No, just wait. You're gonna get the DRS here in a second. Should be nice and easy. Krusix peels off, finally comes in to get those fresh tires, so he should have some pace. See how many places he can make up on those fresh softs. There we go. So Iker Bana, Christian Sindel, and Jan McKinsey all up in the top 3. So Christian has a 3-second penalty, which is going to make a huge difference as tight as everything is here. It's a little more spread out now at the front. Still really tight, like you said, that train behind, Dyslexic, with Oxygen, Svetkov, Leonard, Flo, Nicholas, and Dave. All kind of battling to get in those points positions.
I have to say, this train just looks amazing. Still going around so far into the race. I mean, of course, just got a safety car, but it's basically this train and the one in front, even though this train is even tighter. And looks so
I
cool.
think Christian's going to be in DRS range. Maybe it's close. He's not really getting... It looks like he's slower in a straight line, because even with the toe, I think Christian's running more wing than Bana is, because even with the toe, he was kind of falling back a little bit, but you can see gains of 1/10 or 2 in the corners, about a 1/10.
Yeah, exactly. So I think he's just closing in bit by bit, so he should be in the DRS window next lap or something, but it's really, really tight, and yeah, therefore there's not much opportunity. Just has to get one perfect lap and then have DRS and then get very close. Because in theory he has a bit of an advantage on tires, but that advantage is not as big as you might think.
Yes, we got
Oh, and
8
1
laps
second
to go.
retired.
1 second retired.
Probably into the pits. Not sure about that.
So that's retirement number 4 of the day. And that'll benefit Polyakov, but not for any points, just for the not last challenge. There we go, 7/10 behind now, so he's going to get the DRS when they come around again. And Jan's got the DRS behind him. Krusic's still not in this fight. Whether or not he'll be able to get in there, I don't know. Alberola still trying to recover after his incident earlier. Nice and wide from Jan. We might see a move from him. Goes, got the pace. Sindel defends the inside. Jan tries to go around the outside. Big lockup from Sindel, but they keep it clean. Little tiny bit of contact, I think, but they're still side by side coming out of the first chicane. Sindel's got the inside, so he takes back the position. But as we know, he's running a bit more wing, so he's slower. So they're staying right next to each other. They're going to go into this next chicane together. See who can be brave on the brakes. No, Jan just falls back in line behind. Try again the next lap. Some nice, good battle there. That's good for Bana, who's now back out of DRS range. I think they'd almost be better just... If
Yeah,
you're
they have
Sindel,
to-
you might be better just letting Jan by.
Yeah, we're not really battling. I was just about to say, it wasn't really a smart move from Jan either. Well, because both were closing in. If he just waited for the next lap and did the same overtake, because look, they might not even get DRS both. Will they? No, it doesn't look like Christian will get DRS. So Jan will
So
probably...
that's going to be really, really tough for him then. So he's basically going to get this position pretty easy.
Yeah, it's not going to be much of a difficulty for Jan, and hopefully he's getting into DRS of Christian immediately, because that's the only way he really can close in, because, well, they basically both just shut their door to getting really close again. Because
Yeah,
now
if
they
he's
have
got
to...
the pace, it might have been a pretty big brain move, just knocking him out of that DRS range, just so you have the easy overtake now that you're close. But you don't have to... Oh, well, there you go. There's your answer. He's already closed it. It was 1.4, and now it's back down to a second. We'll see through these next few corners.
See, I think he gets DRS around here. No, he doesn't. But on the start and finish straight, probably. Not sure yet, because he just dropped out again. and it probably will drop in a second, entering the turn. Because yeah, it looks like Ica is running less wing than most of the drivers.
There we go, not less than Jan, I don't think. He's now inside that 1 second.
Yes, he
And
was
he's
at the
pulling
detection
Christian
point.
along with him.
Oh, do you see how they improve so much through Parabolica? They're so much faster with this wing. I get a beautiful helicam where you can see both cars, Jan and Ica. I mean, it's not. We've not really been ready for an overtake yet, but lock up from Jan there. But if Jan closes in further that way, then he could be prepared, like after this lap already, coming to the straight. Because
Big fight in T1 from Svetkov, Leonard, Oxygen, all kind of bumping together as the clock begins to tick away here on lap 22. That train in the midfield starting to get a little argy-bargy. Now we got Flow and Oxygen. It's just a mess. It's just going back and forth so much. It's a big shuffle of the positions back here. We'll see where they slot back in. Looks like Svetkov 7th, Leonard 8th, Flow 9th, Oxygen 10th, Nicholas 11th, and Dave has found himself up here. It's good to see him up in the fight. Got DRS. He'll be looking to make up some. He would love to get some points here. That would be really nice for him to on those hard tires. Maybe he'll have a bit of advantage here in the last few laps as those mediums start to wear a little bit quicker. Half a second now, under half a second, separating Jan as he just with that DRS just rockets up close all the way down to 3/10, and he's been able to keep that pretty close. So I think next lap, maybe even this lap, we might see a move for the lead here.
yes, exactly, probably. Because Jan is definitely looking quick, and Christian might make it past as well. But I'm not sure whether maybe Ica can fight that back, and we see a nice battle between Christian and Ica. That would be something interesting. But now Jan first has to get past. Can he do it already before Skari? I don't think so. Just still closing down the gap a bit more, coming down to Parabolica and then trying the best. I mean, Jan has 60% ERS now, so
Baina just picked up a 3-second penalty for track limits, so I think we've pretty much just given this one to Jan at this point, the only one nearby without penalty.
Christian Senate just got past Akinci. Jan is going into the pits.
What? I'm confused by this. Did he pick up damage somewhere?
What is happening? And Christian does make it. I'm confused.
He's picking up a new wing. He's getting a new wing.
Where did he damage it? Oh no, was it somewhere on the exit of Skari or something?
Oh no, Rob. So now we don't know. Let's see. We're gonna have to sort it back out of the front. He slots back in 14th.
Wait, let me check.
That's devastating. It must have been bad damage because with this few laps left and everybody with penalties, if it was just a little bit of in-play damage, you don't use that much wing here to begin with.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
that was what I thought. Yeah, he lost an end plate, but I'm not sure how.
Well, that's good for Baina and Sindo. So Christian Sindit finds himself back up in the lead. And he does have penalties, but since everybody behind him, except for look who's benefited now is Chrisix, who, let's see, what's the gap now to the leader is 2.8.
Yeah,
so he actually has the lead right now. Chrisix technically is in the lead of this race.
Oh, all right, then it's going to be tight. But really impressive race from George, falling back early in the race. I think he had some damage as well, and he brought up to P3 again. So very nice race from him. About 2.5 laps away from the end, and Jan finding himself at the back again. Of course, not the thing you really in Guild 1 gets another 3-second time penalty. Not the really thing you want for the end. And of course, we can take a look at penalties. We've got 6-3-6 for the top, so Christian has even 6 seconds of time penalties. So the only one he has to be close to is Iker. He has 3 seconds, and George has 6 as well. And then we've got a lot more 3s in the midfield, and from Dave, Cruising and Guild 1 have 6. Polakov has even 12. And Flash also 3. So still going to be interesting till the end. Because I mean, Crysis now dropped out of the 3 seconds to the leader, but he just needs 3 seconds to Iker to win the race.
Exactly, he's close. Oh no, Jan retired again. I think, is that not going to?
He retired in Ascari. That is a crash, I think. That is not a retirement in the pits. I'm not sure if he did it on purpose.
A little bit of Michael Schumacher at Monaco, maybe, except a little different.
When Iker retakes the lead of the race, we completely forgot about that. We didn't notice that at all. Iker retook the lead, and now it's about.
Penalties, he does have less, so he didn't really need to do that. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess if you have the pace, may as well get around him.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, actually, he does need to do this because. Oh no, wait, he has less second. I was confused
no, you're right.
For a second.
Because he's got to get, yeah, that's right, he's got to get away from Krizix now. So he can, if he does have the pace to pull that gap away, he might still be able to get the lead because he's only got 3 seconds. 2.7 seconds now.
He needs to pull another second, but the problem is now Christian got an immense amount of slipstream, and of course gets past now. And that is not looking good for Christian, because I have to say that Crysis and Alberola both are closing in a lot. Even though Crysis is looking to fall away a bit again. It's not really a stable delta for both of them. Flash getting another 3-second time penalty there. And yeah, it's going to be interesting until the end. Christian Sendel on a mission here, trying to set the fast lap of the race. Taking the victory probably on track. If Iker doesn't pull something out of his sleeve. But Agris Crysis past George now. Ooh, George actually goes onto the gravel again.
Yeah, 2 corners in the row, both Lesmos. He went wide in the first one. Crysis said thank you very much, moved himself up, and then did it again, just trying to keep up. But he can kind of settle in now, no need to push, just going to get to the end. Final lap, can he actually make it? I think he's... So 2.5 seconds as he comes around.
Yeah, to Iker it should be clear. And there we go. Crysis wins the Italian Grand Prix in front of Iker Bina. Was half a second in the end then, and Christian on track winner. Beautiful first race from him. Gets third, the last podium spot. Did you see how fast all the guys finished? Like, I was just explaining the podium, and basically everyone's in.
Yeah. So tight all the way down the field. I think that's what we've come to expect from these guys. But it's a good race from Crysis, just keeping it clean. Pays off. And like I said, excellent first race from Christian Sindel. Hopefully we get to talk to one of these guys. I'd also really like to talk to our almost driver of the day, Jan. Kind of see what happened, where he damaged his wing, how bad it really was, and then what happened there that finally caused the retirement. So game's driver of the day is Flo. Honestly, I'm not going to contest that because I don't know. Probably Crysis for me, really.
Yeah, he had an amazing drive up to the front there. I have to say, it would have been George, but with the second mistake, it wasn't really it wasn't really going to be that, and in the end, but you have to say, of course, Ica and Christian, for his first race, of course, impressive to immediately lead out of the qualifying and into the race and win on track. But yeah, in the end, it didn't work out for the final result, and he unfortunately didn't get the victory today. But yeah, Crysis had a really nice race as well. So it's hard. I think I can't really decide.
Yeah, that is a tough one. It was a good race, fun to watch. Only a few drivers without penalties, which is Krizik, Svekov, and Leonard. So Krizik, Pena, Sindel, podium. Then we got Svekov, Leonard, 4, 5, 6, Dyslexic, 7th, Oxygen, 8th, Flow, 9th, Nicholas, 10th, Crucix for that last point. Also, Crucix, I think extra point, got the fastest lap of the race with a 120.4. Then 11th is Dave, 12th, Alberola, Gelbawan, Flash, Polyakov, Jan, 1 second. Basically all the way down where it's bad day after bad day. Chris, Yari, and Kazani with his connection issues.
Exactly. All right. So then I guess we are going to try and get some of the guys in, and in the meantime we'll send you watch an ad. So until then, I hope we get somebody to interview tonight, and yeah, see you. So there we are, back again. No one yet joined. I mean, we can.
Ask Jan, who
yeah, Jan
replied
is
simply with no. So,
yeah, I think we kind
Fair
of expected that. It just pull us down into the voice channel. Please work Discord. Thank you. Exactly, yeah. John, I mean, I would understand.
yeah, I mean, it was a hell of a race. He did everything he could. I'm just really curious because I didn't get to see exactly how it all went wrong. And I mean, after something like that, it's really hard not to get frustrated and let it get the better of you and make more mistakes. So I'm wondering if that's just kind of what happened. You're trying to make up as much as you can, maybe at least get a point, salvage something, and just not quite. Say, oh, we got Krizix in here. Nice. Welcome, our race winner.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes,
So a little excitement at the end. It looked like it looked like Jan was gonna come away with it. You had a good fight at the top between like 5 of you up there. Kind of tell us a little bit about what happened in your race. You kept it clean. We saw that paid out.
Yeah, great battle with top 5, like you said, and Yeah, last lap, people ahead of me have a puncher. It's Europa, I think, and I saw all people around me have penalty, so just managed to don't have warnings to keep tires and attacked in the last lap to push for the win. That's I do. That's I did, sorry, and yeah, to race to win in F2 in Split B, sorry. So it's good, and yeah, great fight. Not a really good pace. Not happy about my pace. So yeah, Italy is not a great track for me, but I just managed to follow some fast driver and safety car helped me a bit or not. I don't know. I saw Iker Baena undercut, so it's probably the people who can win. So yeah, just I don't know, but yeah, race happy with this result.
Okay, you got anything to any other questions for our race winner?
Yeah, well, a good job starting from P4. I mean, how was your start at all? The front row got a pretty good start, but they slotted behind each other pretty well. And starting from the second row on, you had battles on and on. How is it feeling? I mean, we've got, of course, luckily not a big crash, but it's always a lot of pressure going into T1 in Monza.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to start after second row, so just managed to secure the brake to don't have any damage, and that's what I did. So pretty happy, but yeah, it's a little bit scared to go in the first laps on at Monza and the first turn with quite of speed. So yeah, it's good.
Well, excellent work. Good work keeping it clean in turn one and throughout the rest of the race. I mean, we saw a lot of chaos there, especially at the end with a weird safety car being brought out and just kind of the occasional bumping for some damage, but kept it clean. And well, you're my driver of the day anyway, so congratulations on that. Good work.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Gracie, and congrats on to the victory, of course. Yeah, then I think we're about to close this. Of course, we're going to take the provisional look at next week, because next week we're going for the season finale, of course, and we're not going to Abu Dhabi as you usually do for the season finale. Now we're going to Bahrain, actually matching with the Bahrain race, which is starting off the real F1 season next week. Even though the real race is I think 4 hours, about 4 hours before ours. So you definitely got enough room for watching both of it. And of course our racers also are allowed to watch the race, because well, we all as F1 fans wouldn't do that, put a race exactly when we can watch the real racing. But yeah, we're going for Bahrain, and not the short version this time. We had the short version, but this time it's going to be the long version, matching with the real F1. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the finale and seeing you there. That's it for tonight. Hope you tune in next time as well, and good night.